Hey guys, I'm going to do a quick matchup here and then talk about Ravagers a little bit. But I'm going to take on this Hero Asgardian team. It's 1.1 mil. It's a pretty good sized team. Just to show you that Ravagers, they're not trash. And a lot of people are dreading or contemplating whether or not they want to work on them for the Scourge event. See here, this is going to be a 20k punch up. But I wouldn't be afraid to work on them. I think they're a good team. So I've did this a few times, and I feel more comfortable going after Jane, and I'm going to use his special. Even though nobody's going to get blind, he will put defense down on everybody, and that's going to be huge for Ravager Stitcher later. Get my summons out here. I'm going to go ahead and put a taunt on him. And now that she has defense down, she's going to be attacking for 380% piercing. And he's a striker and she has vulnerable, so he's going to double tap. So this should take her out. Cool. Now we're just stuck behind a big Sif taunt. And the key here is we're just going to try to survive all these Thor passives until we can get through this thing. And if you can survive them, you can win. And because she doesn't have defense down, she has immunity. I'm just going to keep healing everybody up and stealing health. Try to keep everybody as healthy as possible. Now her safeguard's gone, so hopefully we can strip the taunt off of her. And then go immediately after Thor. Because if you're attacking Thor, well, that sucked. But if you're attacking Thor, he's not getting charges. I'm going to use his special here and not only heal and put defense up on everybody, but try to copy the death proof and try to flip her death proof. I'm just going to go right back after Thor here. That way he doesn't get any more charges. Boom. Now I'm going to try to go ahead and kill Sif if I can. Just so I don't have to deal with her taunt anymore. I don't guess it matters, but I'm going to go after Valkyrie. And I know this kill order seems odd because every time one of them died, they're getting hit with Valkyrie's passive, but I'm going to go ahead and heal. But the damage from Jane and Thor just is so much that you've got to kill them first. After that, the Ravagers have enough sustain to survive, usually. Now, I'm not recommending we all fight our Hero Asgardians with Ravagers here. But I want to show you that it's possible, one. And I think it speaks for, just how good Ravagers can be after you learn how to use them correctly. And you get the proper T4s on them. And so speaking of that, we'll take a quick look at the ISOs that I've got on them, and T4s. You can see right here that I do have a 7 red Yondu, but outside of that, everybody's 5 red, and my T'Challa's only 5 yellow, 5 red. So Yondu's a no-brainer striker because of all of his piercing damage, and he clears 2 positive effects. It's huge. His special, I think it's a no-brainer. So you can get 1 Boomer and 1 Stitcher ally. I have his T4, his ultimate T4. I don't know if it's a no-brainer or not, but I really like it. The 80% piercing to everybody. And then the extra focus to clear the positive effects. And I don't know that this is definitely not necessary for Asgardians, but I wouldn't say this is a necessary T4. I do like it. If anybody has blind, he's going to copy and clear all the positive effects. And only he is gaining the extra focus. It would be nice if everybody was gaining the focus, because some other ones could use it. Stitcher, I've got him Striker, ISO. His basic is huge, and you should T4 it. It's a no-brainer, in my opinion. If they've got defense down, 380% piercing, and then with the ISO Striker, he's going to double tap. Really good for taking down Doom or a big tank, people that have a lot of armor, high health. It's a really good attack. I don't have his special. It might be something that I do one day whenever I've got some spare T4s, if I ever have spare T4s. But I don't think it's essential. His passive is certainly not essential. I wouldn't do it at all. Ravager Bruiser, you could do all 3 of his. The thing about using his basic, if you can, is attack protectors and put defense down on them. If you do have this ability T4, then it'll also put disrupted on them, and it'll also clear taunt and gain some deflects. His special is pretty cool. Not only that first line where he's applying defense up and healing, but the copying 3 positive effects, or copying all the positive effects in war and flipping 3 of them, is pretty huge. And his passive, I don't really know that that's actually necessary. If you T4 his special, you're going to be using it, so you'll have the defense up on the second turn. The extra armors are good, I guess. I think this is a nice to have. I don't think it's essential. And his ISO, as you can see, I've got him as a skirmisher for applying the defense down and flipping the positive effects. And you can see, even with the ISO, his focus is 16,000. If you wanted to run Forward to Fire, his focus would drop down to 12,000. So there's a good chance you might not do the good things you want to do, especially since you're hitting into a protector, a tank that probably has defense up and extra resistance. So I really like him as skirmisher. And one other question that you might have about skirmisher is he will apply vulnerable on his special, because he's not just healing himself and applying defense up. He is doing something to the other team. So he will be applying vulnerable to someone else, even with his special, even though it doesn't do any damage. And that'd be good, since you're probably going to have 2 to 3 strikers. T'Challa, I know a lot of people have some pimped out T'Challas. Mine's not pimped out. He's pretty much a straight damage dealer, but you absolutely have to have his special T-Ford, so you can steal the ability if they have blind. And his passive needs to be T-Ford. His ult, you're copying 3 positive effects already, so I don't know that you need any more than that, but 100% extra damage, I think it's certainly nice to have, not essential. And his basic, whether or not you want to do it or not, probably depends on if you want to run him as a striker or skirmisher. I have him as a skirmisher just so I can be sure that I can land the blinds to Doom, because I use him on Doom a lot. But I certainly wouldn't argue with striker, mainly because of this guy's passive. On war offense, he's always going to assist non-minion Ravager allies. So on war offense, he's always going to assist Yondu and T'Challa. So if T'Challa's a striker, you'll get the 3-tap. And if you've got high red stars on your T'Challa, there'll be a bunch of damage. I also did his special, T-Ford it for the extra reduction in speed bar and speed bar gain. I think his basic is, I don't even know if it's nice to have, I just don't think it's necessary. 75% chance to apply slow is pretty good chance. If you got a bunch of T4s you don't know what to do with, then sure, go for it. But I still got some work to do to him, but because of the triple tap combo with Yondu, I'm definitely running him as a skirmisher. I think that's a no-brainer for him. So yeah, there's my ISO recommendations. I would stay away from Fortifier on Bruiser and stick with the Skirmisher for functionality. And T'Challa, I wouldn't argue with you at all if you wanted to go Striker, especially if you've got 7 red stars or 6 red stars on him and your focus is a little higher. I'm running him as Skirmisher just so I can have the extra focus. Anyway, they're a Scourge team, and a lot of people are dreading, like, oh my god, I gotta work on my Ravagers. Well, they're not trash. I just punched up against a hero Asgardian team. They will win against a bunch of teams on offense. Not any of what I would call the meta teams, but they'll work on a lot of different teams. You just gotta know how to use them, play with them a little bit. You can't just hit auto and think everything's gonna be okay. But if you're gonna work on them for the Scourge event, there's my recommendations. Holler at me if you got any questions, comments, or concerns.